Good morning, students. Yesterday we have learnt about the reproduction, its definition. Once again I am just reading the lines. Reproduction is the process by which living organisms produce new individuals of the same species. Now reproduction is necessary for the survival and increase in the population of a species. If organisms do not reproduce, their population decreases and species will become extinct. So reproduction is necessary for the continuity of the species. Now the second topic what we have learnt yesterday, do organisms create carbon copies of themselves? The DNA, the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. Molecules in the chromosomes in the nucleus is responsible for the transfer of characters from the parents to the offspring. During reproduction, the reproductive cells produce two copies of the DNA which separate into two cells. The DNA copies will be similar but not identical to each other. So, the new individuals have slight variations from their parents. This is the basis for variations and evolution of a new species. That means when the DNA separates and forms the two new individuals, variations comes out because they are similar but not identical, and it is also the basis for the evolution. Now the importance of variation. Why variation is important? DNA copying during reproduction is important for maintaining the body designs of different organisms to survive in the existing environment. But the environment is constantly changing due to changes in temperature, climate, water levels, etc. If organisms cannot adjust themselves to the changes in the environment, then their species will become extinct. If there are variations in some individuals of a species, they may be able to survive the changes in the environment. So, variations in species is necessary for the survival of different species and for the evolution of the new species. So, variation is important. If there is some climatic changes, they can cope up with and survive in the nature, because the nature choose the fittest organism. Now let us study today that the asexual reproduction and its various types. Actually, there are two types of reproduction in living organisms. One is the asexual reproduction and the second one is the sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is the reproduction in which new individuals are produced from a single parent. That means only one parent is needed in the asexual reproduction. Variations are least seen, gametes are not formed. Now sexual reproduction, it is the reproduction in which two individuals are involved to produce a new individual. Both the parents are needed, male and female. Variations are seen and gametes are formed. Now asexual reproduction is of different types. They are fission, budding, regeneration, fragmentation, spore formation and vegetative propagation. Today we will have to learn about the fission, budding, regeneration, fragmentation, spore formation and vegetative propagation. We will deal in the next day. Here you can see how the fission takes place. This is the picture of the amoeba. First you see that the nucleus starts dividing. When the nucleus starts dividing, they are termed as the karyokinesis. Then the cytoplasm starts dividing. That term is known as the cytokinesis, and two new individuals are formed. Second is the case of the multiple fission. Here you can see a single organism is developing inside a cyst, and when favorable conditions or the favorable climatic conditions occurs, the cyst bursts and the new individuals float in the air. Third one is the budding. In this type, a small bud is grown, and after maturation it detaches from the parent and develop as a new individual. And the fourth one is the regeneration or fragmentation. Here you can see the body parts are cut into three pieces and each body part grows into a new one. Now asexual reproduction. Here you can see it is the first one is the fission. Fission is an asexual reproduction by which an unicellular organism divides and forms two or more individuals. Fission is of two types, binary fission and multiple fission. Binary fission, in this method an organism divides and forms new individuals. First the nucleus divides, karyokinesis, and forms two nuclei. Then the cytoplasm divides, cytokinesis, and forms two daughter cells. It takes place in amoeba and paramecium. Next one is the multiple fission. In this method one organism divides into many daughter cells, and the example is plasmodium or the malarial parasite. Next one is the budding. In this method a bud-like projection, bud is an outgrowth, is a projection is formed on the body of the organism. The bud then develops into a new individual. It then separates from the parent and forms an independent individual. This is the case in the hydra and the yeast. You can see the picture of the hydra and yeast, and you have to draw in your copy also. Now regeneration. In this method a part of the body, if the organism if cut broken, can develop into a new individual. This is again the example of the planaria, hydra and the starfish. That means if the body is cut into various parts, it develops into a new, each part develops into a new individual. The next one is the regeneration. In this method a part of the body, if the organism if cut broken, can develop into a new individual called the hydra, planaria and the starfish. Now the next one is the fragmentation. In this method the body of a simple multicellular organism breaks up into smaller pieces on maturation, and each fragment develops into a new individual. The example is the Spirogera, and you have to learn the example also. Thank you.